Hello guys, I'm Henry John Griffin, and today I'm going to talk about my days of feeling upset. Now, the reason why I've been trying to get my dad, the reason why I have been getting my dad to say yes, it is because that Andrea and both my mom messed up my childhood of computers. See, I like computers. They messed up my childhood of computers, but guess what? There is still something positive there. They were still using comparisons. Emma Linda messed up my childhood of computers. She told me humans are not computers and messed up my childhood, but she was still able to use a comparison to liken the brain to a computer. She likened the brain to a computer to make me feel better and to calm me down. So does my school. Now, even though the staff were saying that the brain is not a computer, there were some comparisons. I did hear some comparisons. They were still using like or as, and Gretchen said the brain acts like a computer. Oh, but she said it's not. Oh my God. She's contrasting it to a computer. She's contrasting the human brain to a computer. She contrasted it to a computer by using not as a negative contraction. Like, however, isn't a computer. I don't like that statement. It's a negative statement. I like the word is. She's supposed to say it's like a computer, and it also is a computer. Not the freaking word not. See, you're gonna get me upset, Gretchen, and I might come to the school, or I might come to your house just because you don't work at that school, and I might have to have a talk with you because you're making me mad by using not while you're comparing my brain to a computer. You could do that. You can compare the brain to a computer without using not. You can even compare it without using like. You could compare it without having to use like. You just say the brain is a computer. That's comparing without using like or as. You don't have to use like to compare. Obviously, it does require like or as to compare the brain to a computer. But you don't need to do that. You could use a metaphor instead. Because Emmanuel also said that a computer is a metaphor for the brain. And I agreed. Even though Andrea was saying all those things, I freaking agree. When I go back to school on Thursday or Friday, or if I start to go back to school every day, if I start to go to school 5 days a week again, then I could talk about the brain being a computer 24 hours and all day long. Well, I'm not saying 24 hours, but I can do it as long as I get my work done. As long as I get my work done, we could do comparisons too. They do comparisons. We sat at the table in the cafeteria, and I sat at the table in the cafeteria, and I myself was talking to that staff about how doing math is calculating like a computer, even though I don't really like math, and that there is no reason I should be doing math. But I told her doing math is calculating like a computer, even though I hate doing math. Even though I hate math, I told her. That's positive. We have to be positive. We can't be negative all the time. Well, what about him punishing me? Is that negative? Do I really need to be punished that many times? No, I don't. Find a better way to discipline your child instead of going too hard on your child. Because what if you leave a mark on the child? You're right. I am either gonna be removed by the other lady, or I am gonna be removed by that lady. I mean it. If Daddy punishes me so much, or he makes my whole body hurt, then I'm gonna be removed from this place. And I'm never gonna be able to come back here again. Well, that's why they have these programs I could go to other than just being in the house. That's another positive thing. I can go to a after school program. Or I could go to like some sort of program. I don't know. And maybe I could try to get the people there to, maybe I could try to ask people if there's a book about the brain being a computer, or if they could talk to me about the brain being a computer. Not get people. I gotta stop. I gotta stay away from that word. But I believe if there's staff and I could go to the program, then I'll be in the program already. I don't have to worry about getting hit at home or any of that. And when I come home from the program, then it will not be in the daytime. It will be at night. When I come home from the program, then I will get to talk to my dad at night. But just because I get punished again at nighttime doesn't mean that I'm gonna wake up feeling stressed and anxiety or any of those, because I'll be going to a program, and if that was the case, I would already be living in a group home. So how about it's better to like go to the program and live with people that agree that the brain is a computer. Cause guess what? I just qualified that. The brain processes and stores information. And we do math and we calculate numbers just like a computer does. I just freaking qualified that. The brain calculates numbers just like a computer. So, when I was in the appointment with Dr. Earhart, I am not gonna say that he told me that my brain is not a computer and that my brain is not like a computer. But what I am gonna say is that when I asked Dr. Earhart, is the brain like a computer, he only said that there are some similarities. But he also said that the brain is different from a computer. He probably said the brain is kind of like a computer when I was on Zoom at home. He did not say that when I was on Zoom in school. He said the brain is kind of like a computer. Now, every time I have the appointment with him, I want to ask him that question, and he said there are some similarities. And that means, or he probably said, I could probably ask him, is it like a computer in many ways? I could have did that. So that way, I don't have to worry about getting a setup answer. Or if I ask the Dr. Earhart, is it like a computer in many ways, then he could give me the answer I don't like, but he's not. He's gonna agree. He's either gonna say it's kind of like a computer, or he's gonna say there are some similarities. That's what Dr. Erhart is gonna say. And it's still good. It's still good if he says it like that. So even though he said there are some similarities, it's still good. He's still comparing it. He's still using like, and he said it's kind of like a computer. So he is still comparing it. That means it is still like a computer. Kind of like means that it is still liking it. It is still likening the brain to a computer. That's what kind of like means. It is still likening it. It is still comparing it. And when I had speech with Miss Beth, I came up with my own similarities with Miss Beth. And me and Miss Beth compared the human brain to a computer. We said both a computer and a brain can process information. We said both a computer and a brain processes information. Both can become overloaded and a brain can become overwhelmed. And you could use a computer to analyze information, and so you could use your brain. Your brain can analyze information too. We compared it. There's a lot of similarities. Actually, there were some similarities. And we wrote those similarities down. But I also know that he's only for meds. He is only for my meds. And I can't ask him no setup question because, like we said, people are not always going to give me the answers I want. And I finally calmed down when someone said, when my teacher said I could talk to her about it. So, even though I was about to get upset and I wasn't even aggressive at all, I was lucky. Even though I was about to get upset and I wasn't even close to aggression, Dr. Erhart said that there are some